Hello, light workers and truth seekers. Happy Friday. Today I'm talking about how we're feeling now, at the moment. I get the sense that when I talk to people and, reading comments, for example, on some of the things that I'm looking at, watching videos and everything, I get the sense that people are kind of getting weary. People are weary of this year, and with good reason. Absolutely, we're weary. At the same time, what's happening is that there are lots and lots and lots of things going on. There are lots of good things going on, which don't hit the media. And there are lots of what we would perceive as bad things going on, which do. And we have a constant barrage of stuff. Okay, depending on where you look, where your focus is, and this is what I'm going to talk about, depending on where your focus is, then you can be getting good information and positive stuff and lots of positive stuff, or you can be getting bad stuff. And my suggestion is that you avoid the people who are the doomsayers, and there are lots of them, and people who are in the truth movement, but who focus more on the bad news, and then there are people who are in the truth movement who focus on the good news. And I think we have to balance the two, but I would lean toward hearing the good news. Why? Because when we focus on the good stuff, that's what we create, that's what we bring about. When we focus on the bad stuff, that's what we create and that's what we bring about. Yeah, we draw to us what we focus upon. And so my choice typically is that I focus on the good. What happens when you focus on the good, you also hear about what's going on, but with the spin of a positive spin. Now, some people say, oh yeah, but you're living in the land of super optimism. And let's be real here. There is no reality. There is no reality. Remember, we create what it is that we focus upon. We create it. And so this bullshit that came out a while ago about, positive thinking is rubbish. It is not rubbish. Positive thinking is absolutely the best thing that you can do. Being optimistic is the best thing that you can do. They did a study on lucky people. Right? Lucky people are optimists. And they say, hey, I'm a lucky person. I expect things to happen to me, good things. And then what happens is, when you expect, then two things happen. One is you start to create that, and that's the higher level of creation. But on an actual physical level, your mind becomes open to opportunities. And so people who are lucky find things, like find money on the ground. Okay? And people who are negative and say, oh God, this is shit, and I never have any luck. I always have bad luck. On a higher level, that's what they're creating. But on a lower level, their mind closes down to any opportunity that could bring them good luck. And so somebody who believes that they have no luck will walk past the dollar bill or the euro or the pound that's lying in the gutter. They won't see it because the mind will shut it off. And the optimist will see it and go, hey, there you are, you see? Proof, I'm lucky. Okay? So optimism is much better than pessimism. Always. Remain optimistic. Now, there's a level of optimism where you get into the world of Wonderland world, where you expect too many good things to happen. But when you talk to those super optimists, the ones who are always in the clouds, they don't believe it deeply. Okay, so you've got to make something come alive to you. You've got to believe it. You really have to believe it. Otherwise, it's the same with affirmations. When I've been doing affirmations to bring things into my life, I only do them if I can truly believe it. There's no point in doing something if your mind's going, this will never happen. I'm gonna get £1 billion tomorrow. You could affirm that as many times as you like. That's not going to happen if inside you think that won't happen. Okay, so it's got to be believable. It's got to be something within reach. But remembering that we are creators allows us to be more optimistic than ever. Right? We are manifesting faster and faster these days than we've ever manifest. Why? Because we're at a highest vibrational level. Let me give you an example. I go running, and when I run, I get to the top of a place. I get to the top, and I send a message to people. I'll send a message. It's always where I do a little bit of prayer, I do a little bit of meditation on this hill overlooking the village and the countryside. It's very beautiful. And I send a message to somebody, just telling them, it's a message of love, really, just telling them I think about them, I value them, and etc. So as I was running this last time, I was thinking about the person that I was going to send the message to, which happens to be my friend who lives in Gateshead in the UK. And I got there and I sent him a message. And because he's a Spanish student, I sent him a message in Spanish. I thought he would like that. Okay, and I sent a photo of where I was. When I got back to the house, he called me and he said, Gordon, and he was crying. Okay, and he said, Gordon, I got the message. He said, but I knew that it was coming before. He said, because I was lying in bed, and he said, and I felt all dizzy, and then he said, and I thought, I'm going to have to go to work in half an hour, but first I'm going to go down and I'm going to send Gordon a message because I miss him a lot. And he said, and I was feeling all emotional. At the same time, I was sending the message, and as I sent it, because it's a message of love and I'm speaking from the heart, I was getting quite emotional about it. And so, and he said, I looked at the time that you sent the message, and I know what I was feeling. He said, and it was exactly the same time. Okay. Now, I know that happens a lot. I was thinking about you, and you called. This has happened to me all of my life, and it happens to lots of people. But I'm seeing it happening more and more and more. And not only that, but on an even higher level of starting to affect people emotionally. Just your thoughts. All right? Because why? It's thoughts that come from a heart-centered place. Okay? And if you've ever looked at the people, the Heart Math Institute, where they've done all of the experiments on the heart, man, the heart is so powerful and it can send messages across the universe. Okay? So, that's where we are. Be optimistic. Look for good things. Expect the best. There's nothing wrong with that. It isn't tricking yourself. You're not tricking yourself by expecting the best. The reason that you're not tricking yourself is because the future hasn't been decided yet. We are constantly moving our timeline. We're moving our timeline. It's changing depending on what's happening. The cumulative thoughts of mankind and our own individual thoughts. So expect the best. And don't say, well, I'm just fooling myself. You're not. You are creating yourself. You're creating your future by expecting the best. Okay? And so that's important. The way that we do it. And I'm going to end this by leaving you with a message from the emissaries themselves. They said that they want to send a message, okay? So at the end of it, you'll hear my voice, but it'll not be my voice, it'll be the emissaries, okay? And they're going to give you a message as well. But they presented something to me when I was asking them. I when I was meditating, I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm just so I'm up and down, and it's wearying, it's tiring, all of this." And they said, "Imagine that you're a tightrope walker, and that you are going across a tightrope, and this is where we are now." And they said, "A tightrope walker never takes his vision off the end. The focus is always on exactly where they want to end up. Somebody who's walking across a tightrope never looks down, never looks around, and never looks back. They only ever focus on where they're going. And so even though there's danger all around, and even though the path is thin and very difficult to walk along, they do it because they're focused. The mind is saying, here, this is where I'm going. And that, they say, is what we need to do. Focus on where we want to go. Don't look around too much. You know it's happening. The wind's howling. Okay? The rope is swinging, but you're focused. Exactly. With balance. You've got your balance. You've got your big stick to keep you balanced, and you're focused. And that's what we need to do. Alright? So don't get too tied up on what's going around. Don't get too up and down. And you know, I'm speaking for myself as well. This is advice to myself, because I can go up and down as well, depending on what I've seen. Okay, because sometimes I get caught out. I don't want to see it, and then something I see and I think, oh my goodness, and that, you know, takes me down, and I have to pull myself back up again. Okay, so just stay focused on what we want, and we'll get there. We are getting there. We're getting there faster and faster. It's coming. There's no stopping it. The age of light, we're in now. It's coming. If you want to call it the paradise is coming. We're going to get there. Okay, and we're going to all get there. So just stay focused, okay, on your tightrope, and keep watching the end. Keep your eyes on the prize. I'll leave you with a message from the emissaries now. This is a difficult journey that we have all undertaken, but we've done it knowing full well what we were getting ourselves into. We've done it knowing that we were going to go through difficulties, and yet we still chose to come here. We still chose to go through this experience. But why? Why would we choose to experience this very difficult moment in mankind's history? We do it because we do not want to miss this opportunity, this finale, this grand climax in mankind's history. Never before has so much happened, has so many changes come about. The winning, the overtaking of badness, of evil, for righteousness now is leading the way. The old, the dark, the sinful is falling away. It's losing its power. It's losing its grip on us. For we are becoming beings of light. We are morphing. We are rising up. And so those tentacles, those dark tentacles that once had us completely and utterly in chains, now have no power. Now they are slipping away. And we are moving to a lighter, brighter, luminescent place of love and peace and unity. And so never fear, for now. You chose to come here because you knew that this was to be the best part, the most exceptional moment in mankind's history. And you wanted to be part of that. You wanted to give witness. You wanted to share the feelings, to share the experience, to share the emotions. For this moment will be talked about for a very long time. This moment will be written into the book of history. It will be studied and analysed and discussed over and over and over again. The fall of evil, the beginning of light, the victory of the right, the return to God. For we are returning to God. And God never, ever left us. But we left God. And so now, so many of you all are feeling the draw, feeling that it's time to return to God, time to talk to God, time to build the relationship with God once more. And so, keep faith, keep focused. Understand that we are moving into the light, from the dark to the light. And this journey is a beautiful one, albeit difficult sometimes, and we will end up in a wonderful place, in which unity and love will be the key to our existence. Have faith, keep moving toward the light, knowing that you are all blessed, and you are being blessed. Amen.